Hey everyone, it's Jen again. It's my third video today and the last one, I believe. And what I wanted to talk a little bit was my supply of Copic markers. When Sybil did her marker challenge, I had a couple people ask me to share what specific colors I have. I have about 60 markers, maybe one or two more. But these are the original set that I purchased 2 years ago. I did handpick the colors after doing a ton of research, and they've served me very, very well. And I really haven't had to add any more colors. Not saying that I won't or wouldn't like to add actually some more colors, because I started off with a lot of skin and hair tones. But I'm not one to do Copic coloring every day or image coloring every day. So, how much coloring you do might depend on how many markers you want. But this has worked really well for me. So, I'm going to put a list below of all of the colors. I really feel like I have ample skin and hair tones, and I also have the cool grays, which I use for shading, and you can also use for black hair. I have several of the multiliners, which I have to say I haven't used all that much. I would recommend getting one or two of the 0.1 or the 0.03 black liners, and you can use those to fill in where stamps may skip or miss when you're stamping. I also have the gray and the sepia because I sometimes stamp in those colors, but I really haven't used them very much. The Colorless blender is an absolute necessity, and that is the only refill that I've had to purchase because you use that a lot to fix mistakes. But yeah, so I just recently picked that up. The only other thing I really need is I need to get a couple of my tips need new nibs, so I will need to get those. But what I wanted to show you is real quickly what I do when I have two colors that are fairly far apart on the spectrum that you want to blend together. And so I will take my darker color and my lighter one, and you can see that these are really pretty different. But if you take your lighter one and pick up some of the ink from the darker one, you can see you kind of get that in-between color. And you can really do some pretty decent blending by doing that. And then the color really does come right out of your lighter color marker, so it doesn't contaminate it. And you can, it might take a little bit more effort blending them, but it really does work, and I've used that technique quite often. So I have I would say I have about half skin and hair tones and my cool grays and about half colors, and I do really like them. I have the sketch markers. I have used some other markers. If you're doing image coloring, these are the best out there, I think. And you can also use them I use them for mixed media, and you can also color on other non-porous surfaces like metal or rhinestones, and it doesn't give an opaque coverage, but it will give a translucent coverage that doesn't come off. So like on, I have some bottle caps sitting here. I can take this bottle cap and a dark purple marker, and you can color a piece of metal with it and let it dry for a second, and it will not come off. You can do the same thing. I know Anya had a rhinestone mask that she wore for one of her dances this year, and the rhinestones were too bright, so I took one of the gray markers and just went over them, and it just, you know, dulled them down a little bit. And see, this is already dry. And so it has, you know, colored that piece of metal. So they can be used for other things as well. If anyone has any other questions, let me know. But this has been a really, really good starting place for me with Copics. So I hope you find it helpful. Have a great day. Bye-bye.